How much time did we spend yesterday going, oh, this is lovely?
This is nice, isn't it?
I think at one point in time there was about 8 of us there. There was celebratory drinks for the birthday. There was cake.
There was cake. We were sharing it out amongst all the other patients. Well, the one lady who was she was like, oh, a bit of cake. You could tell she was like, oh, a little bit tired of hospital.
And then it was like, nil by mouth.
There was a little part of me that, not long after we gave the cake to the lady, she buzzed the bell and I thought, oh Lord, please don't tell us.
You can imagine the nurse going, they gave you cake?
Exactly. You've just gone into hyperglycemic shock.
The thing that we've been doing over the past few weeks is playing back. Ali has ever so kindly kind of been following her story of doing chemotherapy for the second time by recording some audio diaries. And a huge thank you, by the way, to the guys at Sobella House who've been helping Ali out too. This is Ali approaching the point in time where we were heading off to an awards ceremony. These are the kind of things I guess you don't think about. Here's Ali's diary.
It's day 19 of chemo. These days are really racking up, aren't they? Quite fast. Had my third one last Thursday. Today is Monday morning, and I found myself surprisingly at 8:30 in the morning in an empty house. Again, sitting by the patio doors, just watching the world go by. Bizarre. The children are sort of off doing their own thing. They've both gone to school this morning. Andrew works 50 minutes away in Hampshire, so he's had to leave early to get down there on time. Running my fingers through my, I'd love to say, sort of auburn, silky hair, but it's greying and quite a lot coming out. So I wonder if that's the start of my hair falling out. And I'm just sitting here thinking, I've got to get dressed up and I've got to find my makeup kit, which I wear makeup, I think, 2 or 3 times a year, and it's just such a faff, and I don't want to appear ungrateful. I know I'll be really excited once I get there, but I've had to buy a dress specially, and now you sit here having second thoughts thinking, will I just look ridiculous? I may have to take my oxygen, definitely have to take my stick, because my knees are giving me chip this morning. So this is one of the side effects of the chemotherapy. It can make your joints a little bit tender. Not entirely certain that my knees are wanting to do what they've been designed to do this morning, so I'm a little bit wary of them. I think they're just going to collapse on me at some stage, and I also don't want to like humiliate all my colleagues as we're getting out or getting into a stretch Hummer, getting out of a stretch Hummer at this incredibly posh place with a plaintive call from me inside saying, can somebody help me out please, because I'm not entirely sure my knees are working, and them having to basically, I don't know, heave-ho me out of the door, which is going to be interesting, in my posh frock, if I decide to wear it. I may take a couple of things and be a girl and get Rosie and Sophie to have a look and say what actually looks good on me or not, but that also involves me doing a bit of ironing this morning. I'm not looking forward to that either. But it's funny how even just the slightest things, on days like this when my legs aren't working quite 100%, when I used to laugh at my grandmother, who would look at a bit of pavement and say, oh, that looks a bit uneven to me. And you think, you could run across that, you could run marathons across that. Well, of course you can't when your legs aren't working. It's like someone's taken all the elasticity out of your joints. For me today, it's my legs. Hopefully it'll be different tomorrow. I mean, I'm very lucky that these side effects seem to be transient. Here one day, gone the next, a bit sick one day, feeling fine the next. And there are so many people who have to struggle with, friends of mine who've got arthritis at a very young age, and I can remember one time he said, sometimes I'd just like to take my body off just for a rest, from the constant pain, from the grinding, from the discomfort of trying to get through every day. And that makes me feel so humble. What am I moaning about? But when someone has taken all the bounce out of your legs, you're not quite so tiggerish, more sort of Eeyore, very stiff, and even just a curb can sort of rear up at you. And I tend to lose my footing a little bit, get a little bit clumsy. It's kind of hard at 45 to have your kids, well, they don't laugh at me, but it's mum, stumbling around as normal. But you think, I should be doing the London Marathon, I should be much, much healthier, and it's so boring being ill. I think that's the word. That is the word I want to use. It is just so dull, so boring. If anyone ever offers you ill health, don't go for it. Stick with good health for as long as possible. Your mum was right. As long as you've got your health, you've got everything. It's absolutely true. Because there are days when I ask my body to do things and it just goes, nope, not going to do it. I want to do some ironing right now, but the thought of standing there for 5 minutes, makes my knees quake, quite literally. But anyway, we'll see how we get on. I'm not going to complain. Just one of those days.
You can hear previous diaries on our website, jackfm.co.uk. You can click on the Morning Glory page. I know this is going to surprise you, but yesterday when I walked out of oncology, and then this beautiful hospital, by the way, and then I went round, drove out via Sobel House. I actually had the thought, do they take volunteers? Because I spent about 3 hours there yesterday, and you suddenly get kind of a slap in the face of a realisation of how lucky we really are, and what a different world a lot of people are living in at the moment. Which does remind me, by the way, the guys at Sobel House are still looking for marshals at the moment for the Moonlight Stroll, which is coming up on July 11.
Yeah, absolutely, July 11. Ali will be doing the Moonlight Stroll, as will most people, I think, here from Jack FM are going to be doing it that night. And basically, it's a beautiful walk through the centre of Oxford. It's now full up, but they do need marshals. And also, if you can't do either of those things, but you still fancy maybe just donating a few quid, if you just go to jackfm.co.uk, you'll find a link through to Ali's Just Giving page, where you can throw a few quid there if you so feel like you could be so generous.
When you go somewhere like the church or like we did yesterday, there's such a realisation of just the amount of good that the people spend their lives trying to make life a heck of a lot easier for people who've got terminal cancer, and the job that the guys at Sobel do, we salute you, basically.
Jack's Morning Glory with Allen Associates, the Recruiterlicious recruitment agency. They'll find you the right person or your money back. Our boss wishes he'd hired Glyn through them.